All right, I am not here to tell you how to completely change your life or how to make 2026 the best year that you've ever had in your entire life. To be frank, I honestly was not even planning on filming this video. As you can see, my room is a mess. My boy Bear is just chilling over there. I was just getting some work done and preparing myself for the new year. So it was beneficial from what I found so far. So I figured, shoot, I might as well share this to some of you guys, and maybe it's going to help you go into this new year without overloading yourself, without burning out, and hopefully make it just 1% better because that's all we can do each and every day. So, before we dive into this, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I know you probably have plans and it's 4 p.m. on New Year's Eve, so you probably have somewhere you're going to. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Carson. I started this channel basically as a way to talk about the things I'm going through, the mistakes I'm making, in an effort to hopefully make sure you don't make those same mistakes and become the best version of yourself just a little bit faster. Now, what I really came down to, and the big problem I think 99% of people make when they are getting ready to make their New Year's resolution and head into this new year on an amazing foot, is they just add so much stuff. Here's the way I like to think about it. Most people, they go into the new year saying, I want to hit 10K steps every day. I want to go to the gym consistently. I want to eat clean. I want to do this, this, and this. If you had the mental bandwidth and the physical bandwidth to do all of these things in the previous year, chances are you probably would have already started. The problem for most people isn't a discipline thing. Of course, that's a small factor, but a lot of the time, discipline isn't the one real issue they're having. It is a bandwidth problem. Realistically, let's think about it like this. If you had one single goal to start going to the gym consistently and you had nothing else that you had to do in a given day, every single day your day was dedicated to waking up, some point during your 16 hours you're awake, just going to the gym for an hour and coming right back home and doing whatever else you want. Chances are you would probably be really good about doing that because that would be your structure for the day and it gives you some sort of thing to look forward to and some sort of dedicated time and achievement that you have to do. But the thing is, that's not how it is for a lot of us. We have all these things going on and we have to try to juggle everything at once. And most of us are operating with our bandwidths almost completely maxed out. Sure, you could take some time away from your phone, you could get off social media, you could cut down your sleep. But instead of just adding, heading into the new year, I want you to think about every time that you add something, figure out what it is you can remove. Now, that is point number one that I want you to focus on. You probably have some ideas of what your New Year's goals you want them to be heading into this new year. So think about what is an expendable action in your life that you can get rid of to free up time for this new thing. Is that cutting 30 minutes out of your phone so that you can go on a 30-minute walk to make sure you hit your step goal every day? Fantastic. That might require some discipline, but I'm sure you're going to be ready for that. But have something that you can cut out that is not conductive to helping you grow to where you want to be. That way you can ensure you hit your goals and makes it really as easy as possible. Point number two, this is going to be kind of an actionable takeaway, these next few things we're going to talk about. So if you have like a journal next to you, this is what I've been journaling on. If you have a journal, and peep it, cool to elevate notebook, kind of hype, but if you have something to journal on, take notes on your phone, whatever it might be, please do this. This is going to be something called your towards and your away values. This is going to be really a helpful guide for us to create something we're going to do here in the next little bit, but it's also just something very helpful to know. It's something our subconscious mind constantly thinks about, but this is going to be bringing it to our conscious minds to make sure that you are very clear on what these are. Now, here's essentially what they are. Your towards values are the things that you want to move more towards this next year. Self-explanatory, right? So that could be things like confidence, calmness, achievement, discipline, some traits that you're trying to develop as an individual that you want to move towards this next year. And on the flip side of that, we have your away values. Again, these are the traits that you're trying to get away from, whether that be anger, whether that be reactivity, whether that be holding yourself to too high of a standard to where you're constantly stressed out, whatever it is for you. And I don't want to give you too many like super clear examples because I want you to think for yourself, but think the version of yourself that you're trying to become, what is the gap between where you are now and that person? Chances are those traits that are in this in between here are your towards values, and vice versa. The worst version of yourself, what traits do they have that you're trying to get away from? Your away values. So towards, it really could be anything. So I want you to sit down and write out, let's say 3 to 8 towards and away values, whether that be things like clarity, energy, confidence for your towards, or your away values being something like chaos, burnout, distraction, whatever it might be. Write those down for what those are for you. And really think about these, because these, I mean, you have them in your mind, and chances are whatever your knee-jerk reaction is, or the thing that instantly comes up when you think about this, is going to be those values. Don't think into it too deep. Now, pause this video right here if you need to, but if you have those written down, then let's go ahead and move on to this next step. I don't really recommend moving on to this next step until you've done that, so pause now if needed. Okay, welcome back. Now let's go ahead and move on to the final step. Don't worry, this one's going to be a quick one, so you can get back to whatever you need to do. But this is your North Star. I talk about the North Star a lot with the people who are inside of Elevate trying to change their lives. Your North Star, it's not like a to-do list. It's more of a directional statement for you going into this new year. It's the one main thing that you want to focus on heading into this new year. Most of the time, it's not an action that you're going to mark off, but kind of a mission statement for yourself that you can run any task through, any situation, and almost use it as a funnel. Now, there is a very simple framework, and I wrote it down here so I don't mess this up, but there's a very simple framework that I like to use for this North Star, and that is this. It is I, your name, commit to a year where I honor my values by focusing on your core direction or purpose for next year. So I know that might be a little confusing, but here's an example of what my North Star look like so you can kind of emulate off of that. So it would be I, Carson Johns, commit to a year where I put as many people as possible in a position to change their lives while leading with integrity, honesty, and focus. That is my North Star heading into this next year. So any action I do that is in line with that, fantastic, I should be doing it. If it's not in line with that or doesn't get me closer to doing that, it might not be worth it. So I want you to go ahead, pause the video, and write down your North Star following that same structure. I, your name, commit to a year where I honor my values by focusing on whatever your core direction or purpose is going into this next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up here. Don't want to talk your ear off too much, but truly, if you don't do anything else tonight, just simplify. You don't need to do all this if you don't want to. This is kind of just something I was doing that you might find helpful, but just simplify. Don't just add. Add and cut out. That way you can make sure to maintain your bandwidth and actually enjoy your life. Decide what matters, decide what doesn't, and give yourself permission going into this next year to live with intention instead of pressure. So, not to sell you, I'm not a salesperson by any means, but I've had a lot of people who have been joining Elevate these past few days with the intention of really trying to make this next year as good as possible and getting the help and accountability they need to do that. So if you're watching this video to this point, that might be you, which is why I want to put this at the end of the video. But if you're like, you know what, I want to make this next year a little bit better. I want to become 1% better every day and start getting my life in a better direction, then I have a link down in the description of this video. It's a quiz you can take. At the end of it, for some of you, it's going to prompt you to join into Elevate. And then from there, I'm inside there many times a week. I can talk with you. We have coaching calls, we have courses, community teams. We have a whole bunch of fun stuff. So feel free to check that out if that's something that sounds interesting to you, and I would love to see you in there. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope 2026 is a year where you are able to get back on that saddle and truly make it a year that you enjoy and are proud of. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in 2026, and let's kill it. Thank you for watching once again. Your time always means the world to me. And with that said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.